Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very beautiful recitation, Vatsala, Mataji, and Hitesh Prabhu. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having me here today, and please forgive me for all my mistakes, whatever we'll do in that class. But absolutely wonderful to be with your association very much. So, again, I have to apologize. So my computer is come now, but I haven't set it up. So again, it'll be like the last week. I'll be doing it from my phone, so you might not be able to see the video. So hopefully, please bear with me. I ask your blessings, everyone. Hare Krishna. So let's do of the prayers first, maybe, Mataji's. So
yes, Mataji, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासा आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So today I think we have allotted 5 chapters, and after this the chapter ends, this glorious chapter. And then I think next on Wednesday, Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu is going to give a summary of the whole chapter. So let's go to the verses now, if that's okay. Where is the? Okay. So is anybody, do I have any volunteers today for me? Please to recite the verse.
Mataji, if that's okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, Madanat Pranamo, glory to
My
Srila
Dandavat
Prabhupada.
Pranam Mataji, please go ahead.
Mataji. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8, Sloka 29. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pararadhya Keyuramani Praveka Paryastadoranda Sahasrasakham Avyaktamulam Muan Anagripindram Abhindra Bhogeradvitavasam. Translation. As a sandalwood tree is decorated with fragrant flowers and branches, the Lord's body was decorated with valuable jewels and pearls. He was the self situated tree, the Lord of all the others in the universe. And as a sandalwood tree is covered with many snakes, so the Lord's body was also covered by the hoods of Ananta. Pulpit. The word avyaktamulam is significant here. Generally, no one can see the roots of a tree. But as far as the Lord is concerned, He is the root of Himself, because there is no other separate cause of His standing but He Himself. In the Vedas, it is said that the Lord is Swasraya Asraya. He is his own support, and there is no other support for him. Therefore, Avyakta means the Supreme Lord Himself and no one else.
Please continue, Mataji.
Mataji, do you want me to go to the next
Yes,
verse?
Mataji, just let's close the
Okay.
book of that.
Does anybody else want to read, Mataji?
You can ask, anybody wants, otherwise you can continue, Mataji.
Sorry, did anybody else wanted to read Hare Krishna?
Please continue, Mataji, no problem.
Mataji, okay. 3.8:30. Characharoko Bhagavan Mahidram Ahindra Salilopagodham Kiri Ki- Kiरीटसहस्रहिरण्यशृङ्गम् अवीर्भवत्को स्तुभारत्नगर्भम्. Translation. Like a great mountain, the Lord stands as the abode for all moving and non moving living entities. He is the friend of the snakes because Lord Ananta is his friend. As a mountain has thousands of golden peaks, so the Lord was seen with the thousands of golden helmeted hoods of Anantanaga. And as the mountain is sometimes filled with jewels, so also his transcendental body was fully decorated with valuable jewels. As a mountain is sometimes submerged in the ocean water, so the Lord is sometimes submerged in the water of devastation. Text 31. Sorry. Nivedam amnayamadu madhuvrata shriya swakirtimaya yavanamalaya harima suryendruvaiva agni agamam tri dhamabihi parikramat prad hanaikerdura sadam. Translation. Lord Brahma, thus looking upon the Lord in the shape of a mountain, concluded that he was Hari, the personality of Godhead. He saw that the garland of flowers on his chest glorified him with Vedic wisdom in sweet songs and looked very beautiful. He was protected by the Sudarshana wheel for fighting, and even the sun, moon, air, fire, etc., could not have access to him. Text 32. Tarhi eva tannabhisara Atmanamambaha swassanam viyacha dad arsadevo jagato vidata nata paramloka visargatristihi. Translation. When Lord Brahma, the maker of the universal destination, thus saw the Lord, he simultaneously glanced over creation. Lord Brahma saw the lake in Lord Vishnu's navel, and the lotus flower, as well as the devastating water, the drying air, and the sky, all became visible to him. Text 33. Sakarmabijam rajoso paraktaha prajahasis san iyad eva drishtva astoda visarga abhimukhastam idyam avyaktavardhmani abhivesi tatma. Translation. Lord Brahma, thus being surcharged with the mode of passion, became inclined to create, and after seeing the 5 causes of creation indicated by the personality of Godhead, he began to offer his respectful prayers on the path of the creative mentality. Purport. Even if one is in the material mode of passion, to create something in the world, he has to take shelter of the Supreme for the necessary energy. That is the path of the successful termination of any attempt. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of 3rd canto, 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Manifestation of Brahma from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Please
Thank
forgive
you
me
so
for my
much,
mistakes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare
Absolutely
Krishna.
wonderful. Well, very wonderfully recited all the verses. So basically what we are seeing over here is that how Brahma is glorifying, the Lord. So we can see we have all of you have done the verses just now, isn't it? So you read through the verses. So basically, let me just get back to the verse. Okay. So all these verses are the description of the Lord, of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Over there, that is how Brahma sees him, right? From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Brahma was born. So he is trying to describe how the Lord looks, and obviously, first of all, it took him so much time, Brahma, to know where he's come from, and he's tried to find his own origin. He saw that, oh my God, I'm the only person over here, and obviously he turns around, he tries to find the source. He sees this navel with the lotus bud and coming out, and he wants to find out the source, and he tries to go down to the navel, to the water, to the lake of water, which comes from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who is the second incarnation of Mahavishnu, So the first one we know is the Karnodaksha Vishnu. So Karnodaksha Vishnu, from his every pore, one universe comes out, and into that each universe is this Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu sees that everything there's nothing there in this universe, is all darkness. Then from his perspiration, then the water comes out, and in that water he lies on the bed of Sheshanaga. Now from there, the whole creation starts off like. So before that, even if you want to go prior to that, how all the forms of Narayana are created. How first of all we should know, like, what are the first of all of us. I'm just going back a bit more so that it gives you a bit of a context, because the verses which we see are only description of how the Lord is, but we should understand the actual fact. So we know that obviously Krishna is the primary form, Vasudeva. Krishna is the primary form, and from Krishna we have the Chaturvyuha which comes out. So they are the Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. We all know that, right? So you know who, like, when you get the names of the thing, so you have Sankarshana is none other than Balarama. So Pradyumna, he's a son of Krishna, and Aniruddha is a grandson of Krishna. But then we have to understand is that from the first, I'll just go a bit more into Let me just get you the actual, so that I don't make any mistakes, So from Krishna or Govinda is the same person. You get Balarama. Okay, that's the first expansion, as we say. And then some other things where from the right side comes Krishna, Balarama, and from the left as Radharani. But we will say over here, from Krishna comes Balarama, and from Balarama we have Sankarshana, and from Sankarshana comes Narayana. Okay, and from Narayana comes the second Sankarshana. Okay, there's a second expansion of Sankarshana. And from the second Sankarshana comes Mahavishnu. And from Mahavishnu, then you get the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So the Mahavishnu is the one from where, so all of us, we start off, so all these previous expansions, none of us go into much detail. We always are thinking of these three Dakashaya Vishnus. So from Mahavishnu, we have, so who is Mahavishnu? He is a big form from where when he breathes from his pores, you have these multiple universes coming. So all these multiple universes, lifespan is one breath of Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu, when he exhales, all these universes are formed. And the moment he inhales, then all the universes go back into him, and then everything disappears. So now from these pores, which when he exhales, the universe comes, the multiple universes. We are only talking about one universe now. And that one universe is that in that universe, we have Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu goes into that universe, and then he sees that it's all dark over there. And then he starts from his perspiration, then he fills up that universe with water. And then he lies down at the bottom of the ocean, basically, on the Seshanaga. So, and then other half, they say, is from where he creates the material world. So from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then comes the Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu is the Vishnu who controls the whole of the universe. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there in every individual. So this obviously gives an idea of how the meaning of this Ananta is. So now we have to understand also how the other different ways of the many times they explain these. I hope that was a bit clearer of how all the different levels are. So when we look into this verses now, when we go back to the verses, we see that how Brahma is trying to explain basically how he is trying to describe Garbhodaksha Vishnu over here. So when we go to the verse 29, before that also, I think we should just go a couple of verses before, just for completion's sake, So over here, the previous one, they tell about the beautiful smile and his face and his earrings decorating and how illuminant he is, his effulgent he is, and with his rays from his beauty of his every part of his face is being glorified over here. And then how then he I think Maitreya Muni tries to tell to Vidura, see how the Lord's waist, the covering of what he wears, he always wears this yellow color garment all the time, and that represents Vishnu, yellow actually. So even though the color of the skin is blue, but we represent, when we see him, this yellow, beautiful yellow pitambara, vastra, yellow color cloth, we equate that to Vishnu. And they say it resembles the saffron dust of a kadamba flower. I haven't even seen a kadamba flower, but I will take that it is a yellow color, bright yellow color flower. And also they try to describe how this yellow garment is tied onto the waist by this wonderful, beautiful golden belt. And then on his chest, he has this Srivatsa marking, where it is obviously, that is one sort of a circle sort of a thing, where that is representation of, it's like, there's a story behind that. I wish I knew that. I should have brought the story back, but how the Srivatsa is formed and everything. So again, And plus he has this Kaustuba money, he has his necklace all the time. So these are all his garments. Every god has a different way of their description. How this is how Vishnu is actually described with his Kaustuba mani and Srivatsa and this yellow garment and this chakra, four arms with his Gada, Padma, Chakra, and what Chakra, Padma, Shankha. So four things. So now they're trying to describe how the Lord is like a sandalwood tree. So sandalwood tree is supposed to be very fragrant, and it is how the same way the Lord is decorated with the pearls and jewels and everything, and is self-situated. So this is again in this tree. They're describing the Lord as a tree. How we do not see the tree's roots. The same way, the Lord is himself the main origin of everything. So in this verse 29, they're trying to say that the Lord is the beginning and he is the end. He's the beginning and he's the end. So he is himself everything. So the word avyakta moolam, says, is significant here. So what they're trying to say over here is nobody can see the roots of a tree, but over here the root itself is the Lord. That's what they're trying to say. So he is his own. So he's the ultimate. He doesn't need support of anybody. He is the original form of everything, and everything depends upon him. Everything depends upon the Lord. And then how a mountain looks with this. When we see mountains, the mountains are decorated with beautiful trees and flowers and beautiful rocks and water and springs, and how you have that gives the beauty of the mountain. The same way over here, the Lord is being decorated over here. The Lord is being glorified. She said that he looks like a big mountain over there. And we are trying to say like how the mountain is a place for everything to live in it. The same way, the Lord is also represented like a mountain in which everything resides in the Lord. And also they describe about the snake. Obviously, snake is one thing, is a friend of Vishnu. So whenever you see Vishnu, Vishnu is always with a snake. And so also is Shiva, So Vishnu is always with a snake, but I think Shiva snakes are a little bit a different type. They are poisonous snakes over there. Whereas Vishnu snake is Ananta. So Ananta is, do not have a beginning nor an end. You cannot even see where the snake starts and where it ends. But it has this beautiful thousands and thousands of hoods on it. And these hoods, basically, they have jewels on top of it, which actually brightens up the whole, that whole vast ocean. We have the causal ocean is all dark, but there's hoods over there with these jewels. They light up that whole area. And see the thousands of golden helmeted hoods of Anantanaga. Yeah, and it describes in the way how these mountains are, how the mountains, there's a similar way the Lord has been described in this particular verse. So they're trying to say like how sometimes the mountains are, when you see in the oceans, you see the mountains are half submerged in water, right? Like that way you feel like how the Lord Vishnu is also lying on in this causal ocean, and you can see some part of it, some part of his body and all that. So he's basically, you can see like when you see from far, you will see like as though Vishnu is just floating on the water like that. So the next one was 31 verse. It says is so again then he understands. So Lord Brahma, it took him so many millions of years to actually meditate, and then only could he understand Lord Vishnu. It is not just because Lord Vishnu just went into his body and he was the first self-created living individual in this whole universe. He didn't get his knowledge immediately. He had to really work hard for it. He had to really meditate to even understand Vishnu. In a similar way, I think there's a bit of a noise, I think. So Mataji, can we just mute everyone, please? Thank you so much. Sorry for that. I just getting a bit distracted. Sorry, Mataji. So how with meditation, so much of meditation, then Brahmaji could understand Vishnu. Otherwise, he was trying frantically trying to search what it is, but obviously when he was going through the stem, going to the navel of Vishnu, then obviously his kala stops him. What is his kala? His Sudarshana chakra. So Vishnu will not allow Brahma to come inside. So he really gets scared. So everybody gets scared of the death. So even Brahma also goes away, right? So all the universes also go away. So that's the time limit for Brahma. When Mahavishnu again inhales, then everything dissolves. So basically, when he sees the Kala Chakra, the Sudarshana Chakra, he really gets scared and he reverses back his track and he goes up to the surface over there and then he starts meditating. So over here he's describing like how the Sudarshana Chakra is supporting Vishnu all the time in the verse 33, sorry. And then again they try to say how Lord Brahma, so when I mean after this verse is trying to say like how Lord Brahma becomes enlightened, that this is all because of Lord Vishnu. Everything has happened because of Lord Vishnu. And in the last verse, we come to see that when Lord Brahma becomes obviously energized with this mode of passion, then the creation starts off, The creation starts off. But you should understand, like the similar way they're trying to say, like if a person has all the zeal and energy, enthusiasm to start, but the eureka moment or the thing to create an idea doesn't come on his own. It comes from inside. The soul will always give the idea. But again, you have to remember all the endeavor. So a person, when we say that all the endeavor, whatever he puts in, he only gets success only with the mercy of the Lord. Because you can see how many people write exams, but not everyone gets through. You can, even if you just do an experiment and see how people sit and do the same level of studying, same level of intelligence they have, and everything they do. But again, it is depending upon Krishna's mercy that some person will get through some exams and some persons will not get through. So in this way, without Krishna's mercy, we can't get anything. So even though we work hard, so how we say like inspiration and perspiration, we remember that how a person is intelligent, he has only 2% inspiration and 98% perspiration. But with the perspiration also, we need Krishna's help. Otherwise, you will not get it. So over here, obviously, we have to the main, the climax of this whole chapter is that anything you do without the mercy of the Lord, you cannot succeed. The same thing with Yashoda Maya and Damodar Krishna, when obviously tying the Yashoda Maya was tying the tying Lord Krishna, baby Krishna, to the ukal, and she tries and tries and tries, but she was always 2 fingers short. And obviously that all of you all know what it means. So one is for your endeavor and the second one is for Lord's mercy. So over here, I wanted to bring about lots of this thing I've just got from the different purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, of how they try to explain how the Lord is, I mean, the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And every purport, they have given different meanings to it. So I thought maybe I could just read some of the things over here to say that how Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and how the Karana, so how the Purusha avatars start, all that is there. Who is the first person? Let me see if I can get that out for you. So, first Purusha, who is the first Purusha? Who is the second Purusha? I mean, there are so many purports over there, but I think I just want to give the relevant one for you. Okay. Okay, I can just say over here. So the first Purusha incarnation is Mahavishnu. Okay. So before that, we said about how from Lord Narayana, then how we have Sankarshana, and then from second Sankarshana, and from there comes Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu is supposed to be a first Purusha, yeah, incarnation. So the second Purusha, who is the second Purusha now? So after from Mahavishnu comes who? Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Yeah. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the second Purusha. And from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, so who, Brahma is created from whom? From Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Yeah. So Garbhodaksha is Vishnu's, from the navel comes Brahma. Okay. So from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then we have the third Purusha avatara is Kshirodakasha Vishnu. Now Kshirodakasha Vishnu, again they tell a different way. They say like he's beyond this universe. He's in a different universe, in a different Vaikuntha like a thing, where he stays, he's far away. Nobody can reach him actually. Only the devotees of Vrindavana, they only can reach him because they're very pure at heart. All Brahma and all the other demigods, they cannot. They have to from the shores of the Kshirosagar, you know, that's the place if they have any problem from Kshirodaksha Vishnu, if you want any, suppose there's any problem happening in this material world, in this in the different all these 14 planets or different worlds, then everybody goes and approaches Brahma, and Brahma along with the Devatas and everybody, they go and then they offer prayers, and then through the prayers only they will understand. Then Brahma will start feeling what Vishnu wants it, and then obviously he will understand. But they will not have. He will be able to relay the information, but they have no right to go to Kshirosagar. They can only do it from the shores of the Kshirosagar, that is the Milky Ocean. So this third Purusha, which is Avatara of the Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who lives in everybody's heart, that's living and non-living in the universe, and it maintains the creation generated by Brahma. So Shiva is one of the many sons of Brahma. Okay, now I've gone to a different place now. So these are the three Purushas you've got, and the whole material creation is again conducted with the three Purushas in a successive stages under the external energy of the Lord, and thus the material nature is controlled by him. So material nature, you know, from how from Garbhodaksha Vishnu you can get this Mahavishnu. From there you have how the lotus forms, right? Once the lotus forms, that is all the material energies inside the abdomen of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then they become agitated, and then this lotus bud comes out, and then from there comes Brahma, and then from Brahma comes the whole other creations, which Brahma is nothing but he's just an engineer who's trying to follow the instructions of the Lord. Let me go back into. So there's one more thing which is in the purport of 6 point. All which I'm talking about are different purports. I didn't give you the references, but so I'm just talking about this other reference from 6 Canto 9th chapter 33 verse. So over here, when he is realized in his impersonal form, he's called the Supreme Brahman. We're talking about the Lord, okay? When realized as the Paramatma, he's called Antaryami. And when he expands himself in different forms for material creation, he is called Kshirodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Karanodaksha Vishnu. So when he is realized as Vasudeva, Shankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, the Chaturvyuha, who are beyond the three forms of Vishnu. So now we have to understand that. So where Karanodaksha Vishnu, above them is all these Chaturvyuha forms. Yeah, they have double incarnations, basically, the expansions, basically. So when the Lord is realized as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, that is a Chaturvyuha form, they are beyond the three forms of Vishnu. Yeah, and they are known as Vaikuntha Narayana. And above Narayana is Baladeva, which is Balarama, and above Balarama is Krishna. So, topmost is Krishna. And what Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell in this purport is that all these, to realize the connections even between these stages, you can only do it through devotional service. And every time it is always said about devotional service is the only way you can achieve the Lord. And that is how the Lord just wants your devotion and nothing else. He doesn't want anything else. He just wants and basically there's a competition, they say also, between the Lord and the devotee. So the devotee doesn't want liberation, but the Lord wants to please the devotee all the time. So there's always a competition between the Lord and the devotee. Obviously, the devotee always wins. That's what, because the Lord wants to wants the devotee to win all the time. So over here, let me just read this purport and then I can tell another one. Again, there's a repetition. These are all Srimad Bhagavatam. I just wanted to bring out, I feel we have to reinforce ourselves about how Garbhodaksha Vishnu is there and how the connections, the hierarchy we should know. Then I'll go back to a different thing I need to tell. So this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya we say, right? So the Vasudevaya is an expansion of Narayana, okay? And who is an expansion of Narayana? So Vasudeva will expand himself as Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Sankarshana. And when from Sankarshana comes a second Narayana expansion. So I'm telling you these all the levels above the Mahavishnu levels. So the first thing is we have Balarama, and from them comes the 4 expansions. So then you have this Vasudeva, who is an expansion of Balarama, but then up here, who is also an expansion of Narayana. They expand himself as Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshana. And that is the first Sankarshana you get. And then from this Sankarshana, you will have a second Narayana expansion. Okay? And from this Narayana, the second Narayana, you will come further expansions of Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Sankarshana, and Aniruddha. So Sankarshana comes back again. So the Sankarshana, which comes from this group, the second Sankarshana, from this Sankarshana comes your 3 Purushas. Remember last time we were saying how it is the big snake, from there it comes everything. So Sankarshana lies as a snake over there. So this Sankarshana in this group, he is the original cause of the 3 Purushas. That is the Karanodaksha Vishnu, which is the Mahavishnu. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, which is Garbha, is in the deepest thing of the ocean. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and then Shirodaksha Vishnu is the Milky Ocean, the Lord. So what they're trying to say, Shirodaksha Vishnu is there in every universe in a special planet called Svetadipa, which we know that it's a white planet. And in Brahma Samhita also, the Lord says that. I think they try to say that it's like a window from where actually there is much, Shirodaksha Vishnu is in the spiritual realm, but they also try to say that he's in the material thing also. So it's a little bit confusion over there. But I can go a bit more in a different way. Let me see if I can get the... So, Purusha avatars, this is the Purusha avatars we should know, right? So again, I mean the same thing, I don't have to repeat, but I can tell this is from a different place I've taken. So Mahavishnu is the Purusha avatar who originates from Narayana, the Lord of Vaikuntha, and Mahavishnu is the source of the vast expanse of the spiritual water known as the causal ocean or Karana Sagar. That is why the causal ocean is also known as Sankara Sanatmaka, as it is created from the body of Sankarshana, Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu lies in the causal ocean, resting upon the bed of Anantasesha. And as he rests on the causal ocean of Karana Sagara, Mahavishnu is sometimes also referred to as Karanarva Sai Vishnu. And then he glances at material nature, Prakriti, thus impregnating her with the seeds of material universes and the spiritual sparks who populate those universes. So Lord Mahavishnu then expands himself into innumerable Garbhodaksha Vishnu in all of these universes. Now Garbhodaksha Vishnu again lies within the water of each universe. So every universe will have one Garbhodaksha Vishnu. You have to understand that. And from his navel sprouts the lotus stem, on where Brahma obviously sits over there. And he explains them as the chief universe engineer. And the stem of this lotus is the resting place. So this is, in the stem, we have all these 14 planets, yeah? And when Garbhodaksha Vishnu first enters the universe, he finds it. So when Mahavishnu, he from his sweat, from his pores come on one universe, right? So this is the time to say, when Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters the universe, he finds it dark and empty, with no place to reside. He first creates the universal water. So the first thing he creates is water from his own perspiration, which he fills half of the universe. And then he makes his own residence in these waters, so he lies down over there. And then he manifests the planetary systems in the other half of the universe. So within these universal waters, he manifests Vaikuntha, his own abode, and rests upon it upon the bed of Ananta Sesha. Now, just a bit about Kshirodaksha Vishnu from this particular side. Kshirodaksha Vishnu, the Lord of the Ocean of Milk, manifests within the heart of every living, as we said. In the case of human being, now what is the size of the Paramatma in your heart? They try to say is, they say about how many inches? They say 6 or 9 inches or 8 inches, they say. So that is the size is that of one Pradesha. They call it as one Pradesha. That is between the tips of a person's extended thumb and index finger. So basically, remember, when we measure, we used to always measure as a child, remember, from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger, and that's how we keep on measuring the distance. So that one, your width, basically, that is the place where your Lord resides. So that when you measure, actually, it relates to your heart, actually, when you look at it. So when you can measure your thumb and little finger, whatever his width is, that is supposed to be like the width of the heart. That is where the Lord resides. So Kshirodaksha Vishnu is commonly referred to as the super soul. Within the ocean of milk, there exists the island of Svetadipa, again a repetition I'm saying, which is the abode of Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And so as we said, again, same thing, like the God, they can't go and see him because of they're not allowed, basically. I just wanted to bring out this one where I think we have okay, another one more. So we have to understand the differences between the qualities. All of us know, like, how many, who is the topmost. We all of us know, like, the topmost is Krishna. Okay, he's got 64 qualities. All of you all know, right? I just wanted to just bring this up. 64 qualities. Then Vishnu, Narayana, he has 60 qualities. Whereas the other Brahma, Shiva and other deities, they will have 55 qualities. Yeah. So 50 qualities are basically seen in human beings. Yeah. So human beings. So there's a list of them. So you have to understand the qualities which Krishna has, nobody has it. That's why he's the most superior most. So the following qualities are exclusive domain of Sri Krishna, not present in anyone other than him. So what are they? We should know. First of all, Krishna is like the vast ocean with incessant waves of wonderful leela. So he's got this leela amrita all the time. Yeah. And then obviously he has this madhurya prema, which is sweet love and affection showered by his devotees. Then he enchants the three worlds with his inimitable sounds of his flute. So flute is another important thing which he has, which no other avatars have. And then his beauty is present in the transcendental form, is enchanting to all forms, mobile and immobile. Whereas the Narayana will have there are again different things. How you can read in the Rasamrita Sindhu or I'll just tell you the 5 qualities in Brahma, Shiva and other deities. What they are is that they have their own divine form, which is Swarupa, and they're omnipresent. Then they're always youthful, eternally youthful, and they have knowledge, Satchit Ananda, and they have all the siddhis. That is the 5 qualities. But Narayana, Lakshmipati Narayana, he has additional qualities. What are they? The inconceivable. He has great qualities and powers, and lots of universes live within his body, and he is the main seed of all avatars, and he's a higher destination to those he killed. Yeah, and he is the enchanter of the one who attained the delight of the other souls. This is something I wanted to bring up, but I want to also say something about how the elements, how they're formed, and so the innermost element we have is how the earth is surrounded by water. First the earth, and then surrounding by water, and then we have fire, then air, then the sky, and then we have your subtle ego, right? So mind, intelligence, and ego. So we have to understand that each of them surrounding us, how many times? Is about 7 times more larger than the previous one. So imagine your false ego is the largest one, and that's the last to go, because I think we do not, the false ego is the one which always keeps us attached to this material world. So to get us out of this material world, we have to get rid of the false ego. So I think all in all, that is the main thing of Purusha avatars, which so I can just again tell a bit more about how, so Govinda or Krishna is the main, the top, we said. So from the Chaturvyuhas, now they're trying to say, like, now remember the 12 months which we have, every 12 months. So how those avatars we have again. So which form gives which avatara? So from the Chaturvyuha, we have Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So from Vasudeva, you have who comes out from them. Second, the other thing is Keshava, Narayana, and Madhava. Yeah. And then from Sankarshana, you have Govinda, Vishnu, and Madhusudana. And from Pradyumna, we have Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara. So you remember all these 12 things we put it for the Tilak and everything. And from Aniruddha, you have Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. So these are again, they are the presiding deities. So every month, one deity, they are the main. So they are the deities who are supposed to worship that particular month. Yeah. So we have like how every Kartik month we have Damodara, we have what Vishnu. Now Vishnu month went off in the Pausha month. Vishnu, and like Govinda, everything, every month has a deity. So that is some of the expansions I wanted to say. I'm just trying to say like different levels. So also I wanted to say, like, today is our dearest grandfather's birthday, great grandfather's birthday. Yeah, all are devotees. Appearance day. That is, who else can anybody guess who I'm talking about?
Krishna.
Who is our grandfather?
Hare Krishna, please accept
Hare
my obeisances or glories to Srila Prabhupada. You're talking about His Holiness Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur?
Absolutely, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes, he is a great grandfather. So whoever will be your guru will be your father, spiritual father, okay? And then all of us have a common grandfather. Some of us can have common fathers also, because it depends upon which guru you have, and you have your god brothers and god sisters. So you have your spiritual father, and then your spiritual grandfather is none other than Srila Prabhupada, and then your spiritual grandfather is, great grandfather is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And today is his appearance day. I was just thinking, maybe if you'll allow me, I can read a bit about him. Is that okay, Matajis and Prabhujis? Just to remember Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Is it okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So first of all, obviously, we are supposed to fast until noon today, but we can break our own fast. So pranam mantra, all of us, we know that, isn't it? Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha. He has three verses actually. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Madhur Yojwala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Sakti Vigraya Namostute. Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dhanta Harine. So what basically they mean is, I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Varshabhanavi Devi, Daita Dasa, another name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is favored by Srimati Radharani and who is the ocean of transcendental mercy and the deliverer of the signs of Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the personified energy of Sri Chaitanya's mercy, who delivered devotional service which is enriched with the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, coming exactly in the line of the revelation of Srila Rupa Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls. Do not tolerate any statement which is against the teachings of devotional service and undated by Sri Rupa Goswami. So he's got 4 verses actually of. So Sri Chaitanya Mutt, Mayapur, has a samadhi of and bhajan kutir of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And also we have a small photo, I think, in the Damodar temple in Vrindavana also. Over there also we have a small place of worship for Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he spent his last days in Gaudiya Mutt at Bagh Bazar in Kolkata. So a little bit about his life, and this is taken from the excerpts from Sri Chaitanya, his life and his associates. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born the 6th of February in 1874 to who? Vimala Prasad. So later known, so his name is called Vimala Prasad, and is later known as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So is the ray of Vishnu, Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakur prayed Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath for wanting an able assistant to preach Krishna consciousness. So because of the prayers of Sri Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, we had Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So there's a special thing about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. At the time of his birth, Bimala Prasad's umbilical cord was wrapped around his shoulder, just like a Brahmana's thread. He was 6 months old. So this is another special thing which have in Puri, this is a very story. So when he was 6 months old, when Jagannath was having his rath going through the main Borodanda, there's a big thing, courtyard from where his Rath Yatra festival in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath's chariot was outside of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's house for 3 days, so that the Rath didn't move. And Srimati Bhagavati Devi, Bhakti Vinoda Thakur's wife, took this opportunity to go up onto the chariot and present her new son to Lord Jagannatha. Immediately upon placing the child in front of Lord Jagannatha, the child grabbed Lord Jagannatha's feet, and a garland also fell from Lord Jagannatha onto the child. Upon hearing this, Bhakti Vinoda Thakur knew this was the child he had prayed for, and so he gave him the name Bimala Prasad, the mercy of Bimala Devi. So in Jagannath temple in Puri, Lord Jagannath's Mahaprasadam is offered first to Bimala Devi, and then she gives it for public distribution. In the same way, Bhakti Vinoda Thakur considered his son to be her mercy, coming originally from Lord Jagannatha. So one day when Bimala Prasad was still a child of no more than 4 years old, his father mildly rebuked him for eating a mango, not yet duly offered to Lord Krishna. So Bimala Prasad, although only a child, considered himself an offender to the Lord and vowed never to eat mangoes again. So this was a vow that he would follow throughout his life. So in his earlier days, Bimala Prasad was noted for his scholarship. In his later days, he was known as inimitable Vaishnava, who was absorbed in bhajan. For 10 years, he made a vow that he will sit in one place and chant 192 rounds every day. That is 300,000 names every day. So from that bhajan, he had the revelation that he should bring out the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the whole world, which was also in line with the desire of his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and Guru Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj. He assumed editorship of Sajjana Toshani, which was flagship magazine and started by Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and renamed it as the Harmonist. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was dedicated to using the printing press as the best medium for large-scale distribution of Krishna consciousness. He thought of the printing press as a Brihat Mridanga, a big Mridanga. Although the Mridanga drum had traditionally been used to accompany Kirtana, even during the time of Lord Chaitanya, and although Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati himself led Kirtan parties and sent groups of devotees chanting in the streets and playing on the mridangas, such kirtanas could be heard only for a block or two. But with the Brihat Mridanga, the big Mridanga drum of the printing press, the message of Lord Chaitanya could be spread all over the world. So in 1935, Srila Prabhupada glorified Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur on his 62nd birthday at a Vyasa Puja ceremony in Bombay. It can be read. I'll give you the link later. On 31st, 1936, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur left his body in Kolkata, surrounded by his disciples singing bhajans. His life-size murti is worshipped as Sri Chaitanya Math in Mayapur. So there are like 5 points which we need to know what are the lessons we have learned from the teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, is that we should all be merciful. We have to go out to meet people where they live. They might not come looking for us. They may not know to do that. Knowing the importance of hearing Krishna Katha, it is important for devotees to go out and meet people and give them an opportunity to come in contact with Krishna in the form of holy name, Bhagavad Gita and Prasadam. It was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura's spiritual ambition to see this go all over the world, take all kinds of risks to go out into the unknown and consistently present Krishna consciousness for the betterment of others. The second point is you should be non-critical. Look inwardly and find one's own faults. Make it your religion to find fault within myself. My own faults should be more than enough for me to focus on how to deal with them. So do not be anxious to find faults with others. One should not try to see Krishna, but one should work in such a way that Krishna would want to see you. This is the definition of darshana. So what is darshana? Not you going and seeing Krishna, but Krishna coming to see you. So you should be so much more devotional. Enlivened service is awakened when we follow the parampara. So we are being supported by the great acharyas and Guru parampara so that we can follow in their footsteps. So this gives us great encouragement. Then the final point is we have to introspect and see how I am connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and what's blocking me. I am standing on one side of the river and the other side is pure bhakti. So there is a river of impurities that's dividing me from there. It is very important to work on oneself in order to cross the river of impurity. So that's what I wanted to just read about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And it's so nice to remember such a great guru. Because of him, we are here. Because he was the one who, his grace was the one who told Srila Prabhupada to go. And Srila Prabhupada, his greatness is, limitless. And because of Srila Prabhupada's hardships and his dedication and his promise to the Guru, even at that ripe age, he did what he did. And that's why we are all together now because of Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, who is who in this world? So I think I will put a full stop over here for today's session. And the thing is open. The floor is open for any discussions. I'm sorry I couldn't give much, but bit of reading. I hope it was. Please add, give some comments, any corrections, and please give more information. All the people over here, the devotees.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Mataji.
jai.
Hare Krishna,
What a
Mataji.
wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Mataji, Krishna mercy. All of you all mercy, all the devotees. We have just read only what it is, but I think all of you all know what I've read. It's just kindness, Mataji.
Yes, it was so enlightening. Thank you so much for all the hard work you put in to present these wonderful classes. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening. I don't know. I'm not sure. And obviously, we need to do more, but I'm sure we will come up with more nice lessons, nice stories. And then, yeah, I hope otherwise anybody has any more comments, Prabhuji, Mataji's, Prabhuji's. Thank you so much, Triji Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna
Srila
Mataji.
Prabhupada. Thank you for an excellent class as usual, always very nice and very detailed, so much explanation. And thank you also for remembering His Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's very important, and you remind us that fasting and I think every little adds up to our bhakti, and it's very important. So thank you so much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So if there are no comments, I don't want you all to keep. It's already 9 o'clock, isn't it, Mataji's and Prabhuji's? So should we go ahead with the prayer?
Well, if there are no more comments, we can do the Vanchakalpa prayer, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Vanchakalpa Yascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki
Ki jai. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the
Thank you,
wonderful
Mataji.
class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.